If you're an audio fanatic like me, or just thinking about how to upgrade how you're listening to music or podcasts, you have to know about Victrola. They have been bringing innovation and style together since 1906. I'm going to tell you about one of their products that I got called the Journey Plus. It's a great sounding Bluetooth speaker and record player that's affordable and can link to my other Bluetooth speakers. It sounds so good and now sits on top of my old record player. They have over 30 different color options, so it fits in any room of the house. And of course, I got mine wrapped in denim. If you've ever seen us perform live, you know about my obsession with wrapping guitars and other stuff in denim. But they already did it for me. Right now, to show off their online record store, they're having special savings like free shipping on orders over $35 or more, as well as a great deal of 15% off if you buy 3 records from their record store. I got the new Run the Jewels record. I got a Stone Temple Pilots Holland import. They have tons of stuff on there, so make sure to check it out. So go to makingnoisepod.com/Victrola for your savings. That is makingnoisepod.com/VICTROLA for your special offers today.
3, 4.
Make some noise!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to Making Noise. My name is Todd Johnson, and with me is Mr. Jay Connor.
What's up, y'all?
We are very excited to have our first episode here. It's going to be great.
Number 1.
Numero uno.
This is the first episode we've done.
Ever.
This trial run. It's the first thing we've recorded, really.
No, that's true. No, that's true. We really appreciate you being here with us. Making Noise is going to feature fun conversations with musicians, comedians, chefs, mixologists, a whole slew of interesting people. Our email address is makingnoisepod@gmail.com, so send us people that you'd want us to have on the show, shows that you loved, what you enjoyed about it. Send us everything. Send us hate mail. Send us whatever you want.
I'm going to read them all. I'm
Yes.
going to read them all.
If you're sending, yes, he's yes.
Every single one of them.
Every single one of them. So make sure to check us out and do the whole rate and review thing. That's awesome for us. We really appreciate it. So another thing we're going to do is having exclusive musical performances like the one we had today with Mr. Nige Hood.
The Nige abides.
The Nige abides. It's so good.
It is so good.
That is. You're right about we talked about like the Big Lebowski a little bit later today. It was good. It was a good conversation. I love Nige Hood. I'm so glad that he was able to be on here today.
Really great having Nige in here with us.
Yeah.
Great performance.
Oh yeah.
Y'all should be looking forward to that.
Absolutely. So we really appreciate you being here. Buckle in. This is our interview with Mr. Nige Hood.
Woo! Dole it out.
Oh man, I got super excited this morning. I had an Amazon package sitting on my door. It was the best.
Makes you feel good.
It does. It's like a little present that you got to pick out yourself.
Yeah.
You know, it's great.
Do you think if you got one every day it would feel like that?
No, it didn't feel that way as much during the pandemic or whatever, because it definitely
During that it didn't back then.
During like we're not still in it. When the first little bit of lockdown,
When that refund check came.
When that refund check-
not refund, but
stimulus
the
check.
stimulus check.
when that stimmy came in, man, that Amazon order went through the roof.
Hey, that stimmy check birthed Bowl in the Woods, man. Get out of here.
There you go. Nice, man. Dude,
helped out.
Congrats on it, man. That's fantastic how that turned out, and I dig the mix, and Afroman on it's fantastic. I mean, it's great, dude.
Thanks,
It's
man.
great.
Thanks,
So
man.
how many plays was it last time because you guys just put it out?
We put it out 2 weeks ago, and it's at 39,000 plays. So,
Nice, man. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. And then when's the show with Afroman here in Charlotte?
Afroman show is on April 3rd.
Sweet.
April 3rd.
At Unknown, right?
Yep, Unknown
Sweet.
Brewery. They had Petey Pablo here last year around
Petey
that time.
Pablo, man.
Funny story. One time back, 2003, 2004, I worked security for a show that was Ludacris and then Petey Pablo.
Ooh.
And they was beefing. They were beefing.
What, they were beefing?
They were beefing Ludacris. Well, I mean, it was like the quadruple platinum, you know. And then Petey Pablo comes out and he's like, he ain't had quadruple platinum. I got 5 times platinum. Throw your hair around your head, spin it like a helicopter. And in the middle of the set, Petey Pablo decided that he would jump off stage. Literally took a running jump off stage into the crowd. Didn't tell any of the security people that that's what he was going to do. So then everybody started like running towards him. So then we had to form a circle around him and like keep people from going after him. Because, you know, that's what people do at concerts when people jump in the crowds.
Right.
And we were just all like, after that show, I just remember all of us getting together and going, what the fuck, man? Why did he do that? Like, goddamn. Like that. We were just like, everything was good. People were chilling. And all of a sudden, this dude was in the middle of the crowd.
I just love that someone said this in as, damn it, Petey Pablo.
Yes.
Damn it, Petey.
Damn it, Petey. Come on, man.
Petey, man.
This-
But yeah.
Did you guys take your shirts off and spin around?
Yeah,
like a
I was thinking
helicopter
that
while
like you had
were-
to deal with all of this. Like
Wow.
you're backing up.
Get back,
Push it back.
Back it up. Back up. No, we didn't.
The PD security dance.
PD security.
It's a new thing on TikTok. We're putting it out right now.
Hey,
Yeah, man, that needs to come back. They need to just he needs to bring that back on TikTok and make it so that people just take their shirts off,
And spin around their heads.
spin
I
around like a
yeah.
helicopter.
I think it's perfect. Bam. TikTok,
Free the nipple.
internet.
Free the nipple.
Hashtag free the nipple.
Yes.
I mean, that would totally work on TikTok.
Yeah, it would.
Like,
Yeah.
people would do it. Like, somebody's going to see this podcast and they're going to
If any-
steal
Yep.
that ID.
Anybody who has who does this on TikTok, we'll put it on the show.
This is the poor man's copyright though, so it's ours.
Yeah, we've already said it. It's already been out there.
And it's 3 poor men, so it's extra tight.
Yeah. So which comes out to about like 9-12 cents
Yeah, you
between
know.
the three of us. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? We could, you know, there ain't nothing fancy in this mug. It's just water, man. We broke.
Yeah,
Uh,
We're going to get half a stick of gum.
we're waiting on that Spotify money to come in from Nige.
Yeah, bro, I'm waiting. They said I'm waiting. DistroKid better not flex on me.
Oh man, it's gonna be like a whole 2.5 cents, man.
I know.
You
I'm
know
telling
what I
you.
mean?
Well, I'll tell you this. I know that throughout my whole time, I think I've got like $58 from Spotify on music of mine, which has accumulated to like 7,000 plays. Right?
That's awesome, man. Yeah, that you've
So-
gotten the check.
So I'm just thinking, like, what would it be if it's that much? Well, it might be
Let's
like
think.
$200,
Man.
maybe.
That's, I mean, shoot, from
Hey.
anybody making any money from Spotify, it's awesome, man. It's great if you can do it. I got the $50 check once.
It's surreal though. Like it's surreal
It's
in the
such
sense,
a good feeling.
It feels good, but like it's so weird though because it's like, who the hell are these people? First and foremost,
Right.
Like, and then it's another thing, and another like there's so many people with thousands of plays on like people you've never
Yeah.
fucked. Can we cuss?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can
People,
go. Yeah.
people you've never fucking heard of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know but it's like there's no way that all of this can transfer to all of these people making money. So it's
Right.
very surface. It's
Yeah.
very, I don't know.
Well, it's weird. Like I met somebody. I'm not gonna say who it was. I can't even remember who the fuck she was. She had like over 500,000 plays on Spotify. She had no. Like she was in the millions. I think she had like 500,000 like followers or something like on Spotify. And she had like I was like, wow, this is crazy. You know, she was talking about it and kind of not in a braggy way, but just kind of like lightly dropping it in there, like in the conversation. You're like, oh, okay, you know what? And she had like maybe 800 followers on Instagram. I'm like, how does that translate? Like, how are you having like, because these can't be real world numbers. If you only have 800 people that follow you on Instagram,
I mean, if somebody put you on a playlist,
yeah, it is very
Yeah.
possible.
but like it was like 500,000 followers, and none of them.
I mean, there was some folks, and I can't remember who they are, and so that should tell you something for me.
Right.
But there are 2 guys out of Wilmington, man, that a couple years back got put on one of Zach Braff's playlists. And, I mean, that made them go from working jobs to not working jobs and just doing music.
Wow.
In a matter of months, and they were able to sustain some type of royalties
Getting that Zach Braff
off
money.
of getting people, because people listened to it and said, hey, I like this song, and then they put them in their artists, and then all of a sudden, the algorithm kicked in. People, I was like, we'll just play another one of their songs.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say a big thing is I think you're onto something and you're right that it is possible to have a large following on Spotify and not social media. But I think that where the disadvantage you have is what that shows is that people have identified with that song.
Yes.
But they might not identify with that artist yet.
Right.
But
Right.
once you can merge
Right.
the two, that's when I think you can say, all right, pay me this much money to do this show, or it's
Right.
worth me coming to your city
Right.
if that ever happens again.
No, absolutely. Well, I mean, and that's kind of what you want to get, with anybody that I kind of talk with. It's like, yeah, it's cool to have a good song or a successful thing, but you want followers, you want people who care about what you're doing, want to see the next thing that you put out, and you kind of got to ride that wave a little bit and put out good content consistently. You do something fantastic is like you have a rabbit hole. Like I can go on YouTube and just search Nige Hood and find stuff from you for years. It's all good. When I was setting up in here, I had it on the TV, put breakfast on. Mm-hmm. Like another medicine popped up, and I never seen that. I never heard that one.
Oh,
from
word?
before. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, I hadn't heard that song before. I hadn't seen the video, and so it was great.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, it's
That's good to know. That's good to
Yeah.
know, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Content.
Like, that content. You've created content. You've created video, and it's so important to do videos and good videos. And I mean, your weird shit video is great.
Yeah, man. Go check that out. That weird shit video.
Yeah, man. I was doing the sound and production stuff for that.
Electric. Was that Electric Ladyland or was it a one? No, it was the one for Byron, right?
Yes, it was the one that was. It was the
Was that
Wooden
of
Woods.
Good Nature? Was that of Good Nature?
Of Good Nature, the Of Good Nature show.
I
yeah.
went and did that song with.
Yeah,
I'm
you
thinking
did.
about that shit now. Like,
Oh, you were great, man. You were fantastic. You were the. I think you were.
it was weird shit,
First.
man.
It was weird shit, man.
And people drop acid at shows like that.
Oh, dude, it was. Oh man, it was. Well, and I was so busy like running around, kind of doing stage stuff, and then it starts to get. That's the thing that you gotta watch out for, and like you gotta wear that hat. Y'all, there's a few people I had to be like, y'all get off stage and go have fun. Get off,
Yeah.
so I can break this down.
Stop feeding me alcohol.
Right. Yeah. That's the worst. I did that when I was super young. I was running Monitors, this beach band that would go and kind of play all around the coast and stuff like that. And we were playing at a place in North Myrtle Beach, Ducks in North Myrtle Beach, man. And it was this guy came up. I was probably just 21, and this guy came up and was like, "Man, this band's great, aren't they? I love these boys." And he was like, and I was like, "Yeah," and I'm like, on the console, he's like, You're with these guys?
I see it.
Nah,
now.
man, I'm just here.
I'm like, no, man, I'm just running the fucking monitor board. I was like, yeah, he's like,
You know how people say, is there a doctor in the house? They're like, is there a sound engineer in the house? And I was just like, oh, man, I know.
so he's like, man, I love Eric, man. He's my buddy. I was like, yeah, he's good. Do you like Eric too? And I was like, yeah. He was like, cool, I'll be right back. And man, this guy probably fed me half a bottle of Jaeger through the night, man. I mean, just kept coming and just bringing them to me. And I'm like, I can hang. This is great. And man, I was just sitting on the edge of the stage while the band's breaking down. This is my job, and I'm just half lit and just sitting on the edge of the stage, just like rolling cables. Like, man, God, I'm so sorry that I'm sorry that I just, Fortunately, they were cool. I mean, I definitely got in trouble, but anywhere else, any other time or anything like that, I would have.
Adult decisions, Todd.
Yeah.
Adult decisions.
Grow up, Todd. What's your problem?
Yeah.
Young Todd, why didn't you learn at 21, at age 21, to not drink too much?
I know.
Why didn't you know that already?
I don't know why I didn't know that.
Why
already.
didn't you start drinking at 15?
It's the
And
same
learn
reason
it by
old Todd
18.
doesn't know
Right.
that he doesn't drink too much.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But that's I didn't really start drinking or smoke. Like I didn't smoke cigarettes till I was 18. I didn't really start drinking until
I was at a
like,
concert
19.
when I first smoked. I was 13. I was at a concert in Columbia, South Carolina.
Who was the concert?
Okay, so it was one of those rare times. My dad's always been into music, me and my brothers have always been into music, and this was just a rare time where my dad was like, "Yeah, I got us tickets to this festival where it was like a big, multi-genre, multi-headline festival. Among it, Pat Benatar,
Nice.
Al Green, right? Nappy Roots,
Oh wow.
Outkast.
Oh,
so,
what?
So
What a
Outkast
show.
was out. I mean, of course, I'm pretty sure there was a lot of other like. If you had that spectrum, there were probably some other
Yeah,
people
absolutely.
in the middle.
Yeah,
So
but-
I can only imagine. And it's actually funny. I was at Buffalo Exchange on the Plaza, and I brought it up, and one of the managers there was like, "Yeah, I was at that show." Because they said they're from Colombia. And I was like, yeah, the only time I smoked weed for the first time in Colombia.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah. And she was like, yeah, I was at that show. But anyway, yeah, that's why my dad, because we were in the Outcast, and my dad was like, yeah, that was like a real cool thing for my dad to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just hanging out, met some people there, some other kids.
Right.
Maybe a little older, and smoked weed for the first time.
Well, that's what you do when you're 13. You find the kids who are like 15, and to you, they're like, look at these adults.
Yep.
You know, and they're
Yeah.
like, have you ever smoked or have you ever done? Like, I've done stuff before. I just don't want to. I mean, I can hang. Whatever.
Of course, yeah, you know.
You know, and then you're just laying on the ground looking at the stars, going, wow.
I didn't get high though. The first time I smoked, I didn't get high, but I was excited. I was very excited
Right.
that I'd done it. But the first time I was high, it was the last day of 9th grade, and this was the time where, you know, it was that last day where people could go to makeup tests, but a lot of people just stayed home. But my mom was like, nah, just go to school. So we had nothing to do.
Right.
Boy, we went to the trailers at the top of the hill, because this was the time where like
that's-
schools were overcrowded.
I was about to say that's the same thing for me. I was like, that's a North Carolina school. There's trailers.
Right,
More trailers in
exactly.
the school.
than the actual school. Exactly. It was ridiculous. Now it's weird because you go back to Vance, because Mallard Creek has opened up like right after I graduated, so it's kind of split it.
where were you at in high school?
I was at Vance.
Okay.
Actually, the baby went to Vance.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Did y'all stay in separate trailers? Is that
Yeah, he was in different trailers. No, it's funny though. I met him one time because I didn't know it was like it was other people from Charlotte that would bring it up. Like even before he kind of got nationally known, they were like, "Yeah, you know, he went to Vance." I was like, "Oh, cool." And there was the one time I was in this print shop called Enoch One Stop, and the baby was in there, and that's where people get like posters and stuff printed. A lot of rappers and stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like kind of on like the street like
Yeah.
level, because it's pretty cheap printing. Shout out to Enoch and his dad. Enoch and I share a birthday, but he was sitting in there, and there was another friend of mine named Carmen that I know from Durham that's always been like a promoter for rappers and stuff like that. And I was like, oh shit. I was like, yo, what's up? I'm Nige Hood. I'm another rapper. And he was like, yeah, I know who you are. And I was like, oh, cool. And I was like, yeah, I fuck with what you're doing. He's like, I appreciate it. And then that was it. But I was actually pretty flattered that he was like, I mean, Charlotte's not that big, but
Yeah.
and also,
Well, he heard about you.
You know.
Yeah.
so, but I that was a cool moment. You know what I'm saying?
That's good, man. That's, you know, you're not like total fanboying out at him, but you're still saying, you know, respect,
A lot of respect,
to everybody,
man. A
respect
lot of respect
to everybody,
because that was a time where he was doing his thing. But it was people like a lot of rappers was talking shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until somebody blows. You know what I'm saying? And then then everybody's a fan. You
Then
know, a fucking
right.
fan. Everybody's so proud. But
Yeah.
I'm
Then everybody tries to ride that bus that he's
Yeah, man,
building.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So-
Oh, absolutely.
So, like, I was actually proud to actually be able to show the respect of another person figuring it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
How to get out and how to, like, get your name out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it also kind of shows how doable the shit is, you know?
Oh yeah.
And I did want to say, you were talking about catalog.
Yeah.
And in this day and age, and we're talking about Spotify and social media, now the great thing about music and being an artist is the internet has opened up the market so wide that you can over time collect your base, cash in, over time as that base grows, offer them something. And I'm just trying to find my audience. I feel like once somebody finds an audience, because I heard Bill Burr say this on a podcast, he was like, yeah, people always come to me when they're like, yeah, you sold out this place and this place and this place. You must have a shit ton of people at your shows. He's like, no, all you need is 1,200 people. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
In a city.
Right. You just need enough people in this city.
Or area.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Someone asked me about well, who are the, major artists out in Charlotte, or what does it take to make it, kind of thing. I was like, well, I think that mindset is not the right idea of like, okay, well, I'm going to make it or whatever it is, because if we talk about it, there's only a handful of people that you could say is, massive on a scale like the Baby, right? Mm-hmm. So if we're talking about Charlotte, there's him, maybe Anthony Hamilton, a handful of other artists that you can
Casey
say.
and JoJo.
Absolutely. I mean, just you've got these handful of artists. There's other artists that are from around, and they mention and she was like, yeah, Avett Brothers. And I was like, true, but not everybody knows who the Avett Brothers are. Just like not everybody knows who the Baby is. Not everybody knows who Anthony Hamilton. Like it's not that this person. You don't have to be as well known as Taylor Swift to be successful in any of this. And I don't think that I would personally want to be that big. You can be successful and kind of be an underground successful person, and that kind of gives you the freedom to do whatever you want versus trying to appeal to people and not enjoy what I'm doing creatively.
Not enjoy myself.
Right.
And or get stuck doing the same thing over and over again, right? And talking about like bands that evolve. One of my favorite bands is a band called My Morning Jacket. If you've never checked them out, I would recommend checking them out. But if you look at their discography from front to back, the first album is way different than the last one.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's a band that definitely evolved over time, but the fan base stayed with them because even though they evolved, the core artistry was still there.
And the fan base coming into a fan base that appreciates art, music.
Yes, absolutely.
Right.
100%.
Right.
Yeah. And as a folk rap artist and what I do with hip hop, that's especially kind of like that nook.
Yeah.
That kind of art house. I don't want to say art house, but just creative for the sake of being creative.
Well, it leads me to like two questions for you, because since you brought it up, and I've been thinking about them anyway for a bit. So like first off, in rap and hip hop, there are personas, right? Mm-hmm. So I mean, who's Nige Hood? What's that persona for you?
Right.
You know what? That's kind of hard to describe because.
Read us your biography. Us your biography.
Nige Hood is a kind of like self-deprecating.
I was going to make this a twerk song, but I couldn't get an erection.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, real life, kind of like the Equalizer, kind of like the dude in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like kind of like that's what I'm kind of have settled in and realized that I've been. Because to be honest, I've been, man. I like to make so many different types of music, and two, I think that I've not tried to be so many different types of people, but I think that I have struggled and done so many types of things trying to figure out who Nige Hood is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I know that I like medicine. I made medicine. I made weird shit. I made, breakfast. I made, a lot of things on different ends of the spectrum, and I know I can make those things. But now, in the last year or so, I have a more clear idea, and it is like the dude. It's like, okay, it's AKA Mr. Your mother warned you about me. Your cool uncle. You know what I'm saying? The chap lip bastard, the limp dick heartthrob, Mr. No bowl of joints, Mr. Blunt Man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I kind of feel like I'm like that. I'm Chuck Berry's great grandnephew. You know what I'm saying? Sergeant Dirty Bongwater. You know, I'm just kind of like.
Well,
God.
you can wear all those different things though, and still like, and you're still being you. And I think the biggest thing is where you were kind of saying that a little bit. All this kind of stuff is you on the journey. Oh, it's all right, man. You can get ice sounds in the mic. We'll use it later.
We hit a mute button, or Todd will just sample it for something stupid.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Excuse me, sir. There's a fly in my soup.
So you bringing up the part about all the different types of songs, and you liking to make all the different types of music. Todd's talked about wanting to have you on here since you're one of the very first people he said.
Absolutely.
And so me being the person that I am. I was like, all right, I got to listen to every single thing this guy did. All right, where's it on Spotify? So that's what I did, right? I drive around for work, so I'm listening to it in my car and everything. And the tracks that like pop out to me that I liked, Breakfast. I like Breakfast. I loved banjo trap. Yeah, obviously, right?
Man, I don't know. I love
trap
the fact,
music. Yeah,
love the fact that you took dueling banjos and made it a fucking trap song. It's so good.
Appreciate it,
it's
man.
It's so good, man. I love that one.
Appreciate it.
And then Move Something. Mm-hmm. And the reason I bring up all three of those, right, is that Breakfast is like sort of laid back, right? Got kind of a groove thing going on. I mean, the banjo trap is trap, but it has dueling banjos in it, which is pretty darn cool.
Right.
And then Move Something. I was listening to Move Something, right? And I was like, damn it. I know this. Why do I know this? They're using something. And so I'm in my car. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. Yep. No. Oh, yep. That's Smooth Criminal. Yeah. But it took me so long to get there because the melody wasn't played on the native instrument, which I thought was a super cool just juxtaposition there. Because I was sitting at home last night, sitting there talking to my buddy Matt, and I was like, hey man, listen to this track. I was like, tell me what it is. And he's a percussionist, he's a drummer, and he played a lot of marimba and xylophone and stuff like that, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, hey man, what song is this? And he's like. And it took him a while. And then, like me, he didn't figure it out until you get, Michael said, oh yeah, okay. When Michael Jackson comes in, you're like, oh, this is Smooth Criminal.
Yeah,
yeah, man. I mean, and that was cool, right? Because it was obviously like you were going. I mean, it was grooving. It was a dance track,
man,
right? Yeah.
Thank you, man. Yo, and I even have a line in the song where I say, "We're ragtag kings, mix funk, rap, root, rock, reggae, something like that." I say basically the essence of what I want to do and what I want to achieve is kind of like a unity of music, a unity of people. I am somebody who just wants to have a good time and want people to feel good. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like what I like to incorporate with my music. Like I like to incorporate callbacks from culture. You know, I got a song with De Niro where it's like house, hole, mouth, gold, wrist, gold, drip, cold, for my dolls, for the hoes, for the culture, for my foe. When the pimp's in the crib, mama, grab a pole. Queen City shit, bitch, what you know? But it's like, I like callbacks from like other things, you know, in music. Cause like, it's always been like, I consider myself kind of like an artist who loves music more than a musician.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just kind of like, even when I create my music, it's really just a really mixing, piecing together of music that I've listened to throughout my whole life. And Todd, let me know if you can relate to any of that being in the process of making music. But some of it's,
absolutely.
You know.
One thing when we were talking like the Smooth Criminal thing, I love having a song where it's kind of like a movie where you it's your favorite song or your favorite movie or something, but you want to keep coming back to it to catch other things that are in it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Like The Big Lebowski.
Right, exactly. You love The Big Lebowski. You go back and you watch it over and over again because there's all these little things that are, you know the storyline, you know it's good, you know the big parts when you see it, but it's also, there's things that are a little weird or off-putting, or not off-putting, but just not the norm shit that you would hear all the time. Mm. And it makes you kind of go back and re-listen to it. You know what I mean? Like I
It's
love that
styled.
sort of stuff, that style kind of thing, and getting the style. And when you're talking about essentially being a fan of music and making something that's in essence genreless, I love that with creating. Like one that I'm finishing up a mix on now is leans really heavily on like random ideas of like, wouldn't this sound cool if the chorus just had, got big and had an accordion, which was Jay's idea when we were talking about it. I was like, this almost has like a flamenco feel. How could we lean into it more? He's like,
dude, we need an accordion.
We need an accordion.
Yo.
And like the song just stops and there's an accordion and just accordion and vocal. You know?
That's the difference between Sound of Silence and Bridge Over Troubled Water. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like just going out there and trying it and trying something a little different. And that's absolutely right.
For me, what hits, it hits when it hits. I can write a lot of raps. I've learned that I've been writing raps. I've been writing songs my whole life. There's a difference between writing raps and writing songs, but what I'm trying to do now, or what I've been trying to do since I've come up with folk rap, is write songs that are raps. Like Funky Cole Medina.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I mean, Tone Loc. I could like. That's why I talk about Chuck Berry. I want things that have stories. That's part of why I got folk rap as far
Right.
as the header. But to your point of like adding this and adding this, I want to make things and I like things that have a base and that then they can be decorated with different things.
Right.
Like certain covers, like you got I Fought the Law by the Bobby Fuller 4 or whatever, which is great, which is a whole vibe, and then you got I Fought the Law by The Clash.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think that people should do, this is kind of going off, but standards and covers more. That should
absolutely.
be done more.
I agree with you 100%. And
Oh.
it's something that we got away from in the probably 70s and 80s as much, right? When you
Right.
look at some of the stuff that happened in the 60s and early 70s, like Feeling All Right, for example.
Absolutely.
One of my favorite version of Feeling All Right is actually Gladys Knight and the Pips. Not
Joe Cocker's cover.
yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, because the band, that recording, because it's Motown, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
like the bass, like listen to that track and the beginning of
Okay.
it, that establishing bass line, was
Was that Jamerson on it?
At that
For
point,
the Funk Brothers?
he might have. I'm not sure, but there's
Yeah.
a best tambourine part you will ever hear in that song.
Feeling All Right by Gladys Knight and the Pips.
Gladys Knight and the Pips,
Okay.
Feeling All Right.
I gotta check it out.
You
Yeah.
got to be there. But then like Wilson Pickett did Hey Jude.
Oh, man.
Yo, great.
And that's a
Yeah.
great, but it's, and at that time, it was music that was put out by a predominantly white band,
Right.
that was being adapted by an R&B Motown artist, and a lot of times it was just a better version of the song
It was.
to me.
Look,
Yeah.
look at Sam Cooke's. Shit. The Bob Dylan's. How many times?
Oh yeah. And
Blowing in the Wind.
Blowing in the
Blowing in
Wind.
the Wind. His-
But you know that inspired him
To write,
Change Gonna Come.
oh,
You know what I'm
man.
saying?
Which is a great song.
And I got
Yes.
one for you, and I know people might. Okay, it's different vibes. I love Lil Eva's Locomotion, right?
Uh-huh.
But there's a version of Grand Funk Railroad that starts off with
Oh,
kind of
yeah.
like them in the
Yeah.
studio,
Yeah.
and it starts with "Come on, come on, come on," and then it's like, "All right, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
and then everybody,
Oh,
yeah, it's good.
It's
Yeah, when
like
it hits.
whoa,
Oh, yeah.
it's energy.
Yeah.
you know.
I did when I first moved to Charlotte, I did a covers record that due to being lazy and not wanting to pay all the fees, it's just on YouTube, so that way it can all link up to whoever, and I don't gotta worry about the licensing and shit. But it was I mainly did it just to figure out, like, when I just moved to Charlotte, and all I had were like clothes and my recording gear and guitars and a drum kit. So it was mainly more just like, can I set my shit up? Does it all work and everything? And just kind of started doing covers. It was so much fun to do, and I was like, I'm going to name this Volume 1 because I'm doing this again. I don't know what songs I'm going to do again. I don't know what the licensing is, but you're right. It's so much fun to do. You know what's weird is I've kind of talked about it before, and I get it because it's so persona based, but like you don't the only time you hear anybody cover rap or hip hop, it's always like someone like me, right? It's a white guy in a acoustic guitar.
Because this is the juxtaposition.
Right. It's there
you
to
know?
get people's attention, and then they go like, oh, haha, he's he's playing gin and juice, you know. But like you never see it's funny to me, and I understand a little bit, but it's interesting to me how like culturally vastly different it would be to like cover hip hop.
No, that's
you know what I mean?
Yo, I fight my you need to talk to my band. This is some band shit because it's like, especially when we started, man, I wanted to do songs that they thought were corny, but it's like, yes, the songs are corny, but everybody knows them, and we're gonna play them how we play.
So
you know what I'm saying?
What was a song that you want? What is a song that you say is corny that you want to do?
I want to be sedated.
Okay.
I wanted because people connect to that shit.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I want to do Fight for Your Right to Party.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Dude,
I tell you, I do fight for your right, and it's great. It goes over great.
One of the first bands that I ever played in
Listen,
in my
guys.
early 20s is like a bar band. We did Sabotage
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
into Fight for Your Right.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I've seen Sabotage done a lot, but I'll see Sabotage done or BC done a lot from usually a Rage Against the Machine style band,
Like a punk band.
Yeah.
a punk band, or you know what was super prevalent in like the mid 2000s of like, you know, I mean a Rage Against the Machine, you know, white rapper with a band kind of thing.
Yeah.
And that was kind of about the only time that you would see that sort of stuff.
Were they doing it all for the nookie?
Oh man,
Yo, do not disrespect. Yo, I
Oh,
wanted
dude.
to do that this past year, but I missed the opportunity. I wanted to do a 20-year anniversary of Chocolate Starfish and get like I wanted to be a concert and get like a lot of different people to, all right, you do like the first couple tracks or you know what I'm saying? Take that back part.
Man,
of the
I have
album.
contended for a long time that like a great project that I wanted to do would be a hip hop cover band, but we did it pretty close to being right. And like had melodies, dude. You would
Absolutely.
book so many gigs with that
Yeah,
band.
man.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, like-
absolutely.
Yeah, bro. Talk about it, man. Like we need to come on, let's put a
Well,
band
I think
together.
that you can do, you know, I would love to see it done where it's not like what I'm talking about being the juxtaposition.
Yeah, I
You
think,
know what I mean?
I think it should just be done approach like you'd approach,
Like cover bands
Music.
approach music, right?
you know, just
right.
approach it like
I
you'd
agree.
approach music.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And then
some guy playing wagon wheel in a corner, nobody goes, that's why they're doing, you know.
you know what it should start off like, how you should do it. And this is what I do sometimes with the band. Like if I'll have a beat or something that I've written to another song, instead of taking that song to them, I'll like think in my head, what does the bass line sound like? And I'm gonna be like, Max, play da 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 da.
Right.
What does the guitar or melody sound like? I'm like, Zach, play da da da. Because if you play it, sometimes they'll be like, well, that's a horn. Well, motherfucker, play that shit. Like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So it's like, but in that same exercise, you're actually you're stripping it down to an
To
idea
its essence.
again.
Right.
You know?
If you can
And
get
you're
to its
letting them-
essence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
if you can be with writing a song, the most important thing is having a heavy hand in editing. And I mean, I'm really bad at it because with our own stuff, because
It's hard to edit things that you do because you get stuck in a way
Right.
and you're like, this is how it sounds the best. I don't need to change it.
right. That's why it's good to have
Yeah.
a producer
Yeah.
on stuff, and that's why whenever I produce my own stuff, it always turns into, and I'm happy with it, but it always turns into, it goes back to like a wall of sound, Phil Spector style thing.
What, you're creating wall of sound stuff?
Well, wall of sound, kind of the whole concept of like wall of sound is like when you do, like for example, like you'll do a drum track, right? And you'll back in the day what they would do is they'd have a drummer come in and he'd play the drum track. Then they would take all that and they would bounce it down to one track, and then they would have another drummer come in and play to the exact same drum track and take all those 8, 9 microphones, whatever, bounce it down to 2. And then when it comes to prevalent parts, like there's a tom roll, you would have another drummer come in and set up his stuff, and it would be and come in and go do doom do doom do doom, you know. And that was the big thing Phil Spector set up. Which, by the way, rest in peace to that.
Yeah, rest in peace, man.
To that crazy fucker. Have I ever
Sorry
told
you shot somebody and killed them.
Intelligence
I mean,
comes with mania sometimes.
Oh man, dude, the best story I ever heard from that was Matt Sorum, the drummer for Guns N' Roses and Velvet Revolver. He was in a studio, and I've heard this story has gone telephone, so this is how I heard this story, the 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever. So
6 degrees.
6 degrees, whatever. 6 degrees of Matt Sorum.
It's Kevin Spacey, actually.
It's Kevin Spacey. It gets a little. Never mind.
A little handsy
Yeah, I was
over
about to say, yes, exactly.
You better stay 6 feet from Kevin Spacey.
So Matt Sorum's working in a studio and in like a Studio B, and in Studio A is Phil Spector producing Celine Dion. And Phil Spector walks in, hair.
It's the hair.
It's the hair. You can tell it's him. Because, this is exactly his reputation. I've heard a lot of stories, but this is the best one I've heard. He's like, you're that guy from Guns N' Roses, aren't you? And he's like, yeah, I need a drummer. Come to Studio A. So he calls his drum tech and says, can you bring, just my standard kit or something? I kind of want a standard kit. And he says, okay. So drum tech comes in. There's a young kid who's his tape op, and Phil was always famous for having multiple different tape machines to do his tape delays the way he wanted to do. And this kid was setting one of them up, and he goes, "Stop touching my I will fucking shoot you in the face!" And we'll pull his gun out and just wave it around. This is what it's like to work with him.
He waved it at Lennon and shit.
Yeah, he waved it at everybody, and that's ultimately what happened from what I've heard with the.
He shot somebody in the face.
When he shot her.
He shot her.
He shot her. I don't think he meant to
shoot her,
but he was also would wave this gun around all the time. It's surprised he hadn't shot somebody earlier.
Wow.
So he's freaking out at this tape op, and they're and Matt Sorum and the drum tech are like, we just don't engage with this. And so they get the whole kit set up and all these mics on and everything. Then he goes, okay, I want, in this part where it's coming up, I want the toms to go da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. And he goes, do you want me to play this? He's like, no, I want you to play the toms. Da-da, da-da, da-da. He goes, okay. So part comes up, and he goes, da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. And then tape stops and goes, and Phil's like, okay, play back. And here comes, and it's just solo. Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. Play back. Da-dun, da-dun, da-dun. So he's listening to this tom roll soloed for a while, and Matt's like, do you need me? He's like, just stick around and we'll see if this still works. And in LA, there's, I can't remember the name of it, but there's a famous chicken and waffles spot. Roscoe's.
Yeah.
And right, there we go. So they're waiting. Drum tech's, I'll go to Roscoe's, get us some food and come back. So like, okay. So they go in the lounge. They've been waiting for a while and they're eating this chicken and waffles, and Phil Spector walks in and goes, where did y'all go? What are y'all eating? What are y'all doing? It was Roscoe's, we're eating chicken and waffles. Do you want some? He's like, I'll tell you, he gets one of the chicken, starts eating it, starts choking. Right? So Phil Spector is starting to choke. And he's like doing this and freaking out. So nervously, I guess, is grabbing his gun or something. The drum tech comes behind him and gives him the Heimlich. And he spits it out. And Phil turns around and goes, I was going to shoot you, but you saved my life.
What the fuck?
And then Phil's like, session over. Thank you. This is great. Boys, we're going out. And Phil Spector, this is now early in the day, took these guys to many different, Matt Sorum and the drum tech, everything on his tab, and took them all around town.
Wow.
Yeah. Craziest Phil. I've heard of some, but I just thought that was great. I was going to shoot you, but you saved my life.
The moral of the story is the gap of wealth in this nation is grotesque.
Yes.
Because we spend millions of dollars on maniacs to make art. I appreciate it. Maybe I might be one of those maniacs one day.
If you like modern music, say thanks to Phil Spector.
Oh yeah,
you better.
Absolutely.
It's the way it's mixed. That's
the whole thing. He invented that sound.
Yeah.
It's totally to him. And I'm the same way. that's the way that I do stuff and I work, and I love doing that sort of stuff. But it is ridiculous that it came from this guy.
He was still doing the wall of sound, roll the tape back on top of each, even when Celine Dion was making music.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Do you think maybe that might have hurt him? Well, maybe the gun shit.
I think it was the gun shit. I think there was a lot that was hurting him. But it's Phil's definitely one of those examples of people of like every artist is a little crazy. Every person's a little crazy.
And insecure too.
And it's right, because there's probably massive amount of stuff under there. There
are a lot of weirdos, man. A lot of artists are just. I say weirdo affectionately. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And a lot of us have spent time alone. A lot of us has not been understood. A lot of us, by being creative and creating somewhat of our own identities, have not fit in, with other groups that conform to an identity.
Right.
Yeah, but from a album standpoint, though, like when you look at artists in modern music, I mean, hip hop and rap is still some of the most creative stuff.
Absolutely.
I mean, but from just a straight up album standpoint, just the little skits that would happen in the middle, the lead-in intros to the songs. I mean, could you imagine if any, like, I don't know,
rock bands were doing that and stuff?
The Black
That would have been funny, bro.
Or whoever it was doing something like that.
Like, I tell you, the closest thing to that is like, I got my pencil. Give me something to write on.
Van Halen,
like, that
absolutely.
You catch some little funny shit.
Come on, Dave, give me a break. One break coming up.
Yeah, but
what's crazy
here's
is,
a flacco Wawa.
Yeah, but think about it. People would give Diamond Dave shit about that all day long.
You're right.
But they would never think twice about it if it was in hip hop or rap.
Sure, you're absolutely right, because it becomes too campy.
Think about all the stuff Eminem did.
Yeah,
like that's
give me my dick back, Shaggy.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. I didn't realize that I have that double negative, because I don't want, like, come on, you're rapping,
Well, you don't want. Are you saying you don't want to hear white guys goof off on the skits or non-rap?
I would love
campy a little bit,
but
does that make sense? I get what you mean.
It's weird how those two different genres are looked at, because culturally, rap is much more aggressive at times. Hip hop is much more aggressive at times than pop music is. Pop music's a little more campy, right?
Right.
But you can have that aggressive. I mean, you look at Wu-Tang. You have that aggressive rap,
and still
and then have that comedy in the same thing.
Yeah. It's the relief.
But if a metal band, if Coheed and Cambria decided to go out and do some skits in between their songs, their fan base would be like, "What?
Well, okay,
this deviates from the
I gotta
concept album story."
I gotta flip back on that though.
Yeah.
I feel like one thing in hip hop and rap, to make a song that's campy, is not seemed cool. Like, unless that's your brand or whatever, it's like you don't have as much room. Like, because one thing about hip hop and rap, you kind of gotta play a character, and that's one thing that I kind of want to like try to break the mode of as a rapper, as being more of like a songwriter and song creator. But like, I think you play more of a character in hip hop and rap, so you can't go out of character in another song unless it's like your other songs. So I feel like with rock music, you can make more. You have more instances where Nickelback's gonna have Rockstar, you know what I'm saying? Right. Or Why Don't You Get a Job by Offspring, or Pretty Fly for a White Guy.
Right.
Even though Offspring, all their songs have been pretty like witty and off. But I just think you can create like, not like just out of rap, you can make moves, like you can be a lot of different things. I'm making the song for the mood, not like here's me again making this this party song. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you're allowing yourself to be a different artist based on the song.
Different character.
I want to write a song in this character or this ideal, or this is how I'm feeling today. And I don't feel like the aggressive guy that I just did on this song that came out a month ago. I feel like a different guy. And you're right. I think there is that perception. It's definitely there in rap, but you're right. It's a little different.
And I think it's changing more with hip hop too. And I think at different times you have like ebbs and flows. And to be honest now, man, there's everything out there and they're making money. Everybody kind of like almost, I came across somebody that goes by something Flow, AFRO is like what he's going by now, or something Flow. Never heard of it. Fat dude with big afro, but he's got like a few 100,000 followers, and like he makes kind of like, I guess whatever, like kind of like boom bap hip hop, but like mad people, viewing his shit.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think. It was like some random like beat that he went over. But I was just thinking, like, you know what? If this ain't for you, there's somebody who's it's gonna be for.
Right.
And I think that
There's a market out there. You just gotta
Yeah.
find them.
Right.
Well, dude, I think that you're doing fantastic with it. I think you're finding your market. I think you're figuring out exactly everything you need to do. Just like Jay said, when we started talking about this and we're like, who are the guests we want to get on here? I wanted you for that exact reason, because I think you're talented. I think you're good at what you're doing, and you don't pigeonhole yourself, and I think you're making all the right moves, man.
Man, thank
really
you, bro.
do.
And I
really
encourage
do.
everybody to just, like, do what you want, man. Don't like you saying, don't pigeonhole yourself.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put my little thing on. I would say, yeah, everybody, please don't pigeonhole yourself for your whole life, man. One thing I learned from Game of Thrones, bro. People out here getting it till they die, till they fall to the sword. Like fucking Daddy Lannister, been an asshole, like just a trash alpha male till he dies. He doesn't, I don't care. I'm 78,
Right.
I'm out here destroying people's lives with grace, you know. Anyway, but also another thing, fear. Like, fear is always predicated on things that you want, and you're gonna be like, it's whether or not you're gonna get the thing that you want. And remind yourself that all of the things and desires that you want don't mean shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And they're temporary. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about it, fear, it doesn't mean anything. And so don't be afraid. You got no real reason to be afraid of anything.
Absolutely,
I say that to the world.
Absolutely. Well, dude, we're gonna reset and figure out about.
Hey,
see if we can get you.
Who's
doing
at the
weird
door? Maybe some pizza?
I think it's our camera guy.
Stripper girl?
Actually, and
surprise!
Stripper. Let's get him. Thanks, man. We appreciate it. And now with his song "Weird Shit," this is Nige Hood.
All sad was that.
Yo, what's up? Live and direct. Make some noise. It's not shit. Here's weird shit. I get smacked, but I don't get too smacked. Get slapped out, been a nigga tooth bag. Chevrolet door swinging like New Jack. Driving drunk cause I just had 2 drafts and 2 jack shots, baby got a backdrop. I close my eyes and imagine doing back shots. I wake up and she's staring at me like, what? I was talking to her dirty while I blacked out. I saw a light and it was a cop flashlight. You can guess how the story ended that night. I'm just blessed that I didn't have my jackknife. Maybe I did something heinous in my past life. I'm not the type to take it in the anus. I love my girl, but she thinks that I'm some ignoramus. I'm way smarter than your average orangutan. I never keep my side bitches in the daily planner. Man of many words, full of shit like baby pampers. Standing on the threshold of my sanity. I'm the dumb drunk old sailor who fucked humanity. It was my imagination shaping remains for love making. I was shopping with my girl, saw her putting back the bacon. She switching up her diet, she want me to try it. I looked into her basket, it was broccoli, quinoa, something like couscous, and a whole lot of weird shit. A whole lot of weird shit. Weird shit. Weird shit. Check. Lone leader, porn phone skeeter, blue moon drink a whole liter. Blunt man, not big on bowls or joints either. Don't like when the jam smoking these tweezers. My music is a mix of Wayne, Webby, and Weezer. I promise that I got a girl, but you can't see her. What the fuck is going on with Earth? Am I a geezer? And I suck at rapping, I apologize from here. Going though, pushing through, crazy as I'm typing words are turning into twisted groups of letters in my visual. It must be they slipped something funky in my cereal. Cinnamon toast crunch tasting ethereal. All the ones who doubted me can take one in your Cheerio. Crushed like radio, ride king stereo.
Especially for the fans now.
Bitch, you know I'm anti and shot scared of hoes. I am not your gigolo. Pass the piff, I'm skitch, roll a blunt. Moonside made this shit so it dumps. Lyrics don't make no sense. So what? As long as it tick 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 followed by that bump. So I was at a stoplight on East Morehead Street, and this homeless man came up to my window and he rolled it down. And he said, I had a dream last night, and you were in it. It was Jesus, Tom Cruise, and a whole lot of weird shit. I'm Nige Hood. I'm out. Listen to Bowl in the Woods featuring Afroman and my band, folk rap band, Todd Johnson. Whew, that was fun.
That was it. That was our interview and performance with Nige Hood. The guy's awesome. Make sure to go check out all that he's doing. Check him out on Spotify.
Go listen to that song, Smoking a Bowl in the Woods. Got Afroman on it. Just check it out right now. Go stream it. Wherever you stream stuff, go do it.
Absolutely. Thank you very much, everybody. We'll see you in a week. We're going to be doing this stuff weekly, so make sure to rate, review.
Wait a minute. It's weekly again?
Yeah.
We're back on that shit again? Weekly? God damn.
God, you got to show up here and do this every week.
I've got to do this every week.
Every week.
Every week.
Every week.
But the guests are going to leave afterwards, too.
Yes, they're
okay.
They're gonna no. Actually, they're moving in.
They're moving in.
Nige is on the couch.
Oh,
so
okay. What's up, dude?
The
Nige abides.
The Nige abides, man. Hey, man, that rap really tied the room together. All right, everybody. We're gonna.
Y'all be good.
Y'all be good. We'll see you later.